using DNA to catch rapists. That's what the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office says it will do with a $3 million grant.
Tonight, 3 News investigator Rachel Polansky tells us how ancestry websites are helping to solve decades-old rape cases.
I used to like to ride bikes.
It was the summer of 1997.
We used to go down to a place in Brooklyn called the Kingdom to ride our bikes and jump jumps.
And this man was just a 9-year-old little boy living in Brooklyn.
I seen a man standing there, and I thought maybe that was, the person that maybe had a dirt bike. So I went to ask him, and he lured me away to where I fell victim to a crime of rape and kidnap.
The survivor, who we'll call Michael, did not want his real name used in our story. He was able to run away and report the crime to Brooklyn police. Officers found his rapist DNA at the scene and uploaded it to CODIS, a DNA database that allows law enforcement to compare crime scene evidence with DNA profiles of convicted offenders. CODIS did not produce a match.
So yeah, it sort of crushed my hope, knowing like there's nothing.
2 decades later, there is still no match. But there is new hope for Michael and hundreds of others.
Well, law enforcement has now realized the strength of using genealogy searches in particular, to try to solve some of those cases that we didn't have solved before.
Rick Bell, with the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office, is spearheading the Genetic Genealogy Project. Since 2013, the Prosecutor's Office has secured 157 John Doe indictments based on DNA profiles that were found in rape kits that did not produce CODIS matches. In other words, the indictments ID'd the suspects based on their genetic makeup, not their names.
So these 157 John Doe indictments are people that you could potentially find their identities through genealogical testing.
That's possible. It's very possible.
For the 51 ladies.
A genealogical database was used in the highly publicized Golden State Killer case, where police matched a portion of crime scene DNA to that of the suspect's distant relative, using GED Match, a free website that allows people to upload DNA data from popular testing kits like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA.
This will be the new CODIS. Actually, 2, 3, 5 years from now, it'll be something that's very common.
But right now, it's still new, and some people worry about their DNA being shared without their knowledge. GED Match has responded to those concerns by changing its terms of service, now requiring users to opt in if they want their profile shared with law enforcement.
The choice becomes clear when you've spoken to so many victims and you've seen the tragedy, you've seen the agony that they've gone through, not knowing who the person is that's committed the crime and whether or not they're still out there.
A fear that is all too real for Michael, who has since moved on and is now a father, but still finds himself looking over his shoulder.
I'm hoping somewhere, somehow, some way that man is messed up and somehow put his DNA in a system.
Do you think it's worth it if it catches, even one rapist? Is it worth doing this type of testing?
Absolutely. It's one more bad person off the street. Shouldn't be there.
And right now, prosecutors are focusing on identifying the indicted John Does who are repeat offenders. So what happens after they send those DNA samples to the state's crime lab? Well, I have that part of the story for you on WKYC.com. Rachel Polansky, 3 News.